Oh yeah, I gotta check this bulletin board every now and then. Accept all these and turn them in. Actually, no, you know what? I just remembered I should do this with my Nerscylla.
If you want to use it. I don't know.
I'm at least going to... I'm at least gonna see its kinship. So honestly, I don't really see the harm. Looks pretty neat. I could use it as like a temporary team member.
Yeah. I also love like the detail that it doesn't have the Gypsyros skin on it when it hatches. It's just like the spider. Because it doesn't get that until later.
I just need to check something really quick. Let me at least add it just to get it some levels, and I want to see its kinship because I want to keep up on those kinships.
I do love Nerscylla's kinship. I think it's really good. Cause yeah, you have it's just Nerscylla and then the other three that you hatch, like Hechawacha, Kongalala, and Gypsyros.
You're a tech, so I think I'm gonna take out Basarios temporarily. Yeah. Trying to see how Nerscylla does. Ivy climb. I can climb ivies now. Cool.
Yep. Yeah, all those like vine cliffs. You can use Nerscylla, Hechawacha, or Kongalala to do all of those.
These bad boys in. Oh, level 8 already. Let's go. We're at level 1. That makes sense. Toughness meat. Toughest meat around. Oh yes, this gene system. I barely understood it when we played the game originally.
Yeah.
I'll pick it up eventually.
Oh, Genus, yeah, where are you at in Rise? Are you, you're doing I assume you're doing the village quest like I recommended. Do you know what star you're at? Because that'll help me figure out how far you've really gotten. Because yeah, you think you get far, and then you realize that you haven't really done that much comparatively to what the game offers.
Alright, so I guess we're just moving on the story then. What was the, these gold dens just give you, like, more, like, gene slots or stats or whatever? What was their deal again?
Yeah, they give you, the monsters have better genes, and then there's certain monsters that can only be, monster eggs that can only be found in the rare den. They can't be found in the normal dens. But it's not really something that you have to worry about until post-game.
Alright, so I'll just ignore it for now.
Yeah.
Down there. Oh yeah, Genus, I heard you were playing Rise, by the way. Neat.
Yeah, he's playing Bow.
Bow, huh?
Yeah.
Damn trios, fight me.
It's one of the most broken weapons in the game.
What is your... I don't remember what move you go for. We're just gonna take a guess. Oh, hey, I got it. Use technical with the head. Body parts don't use different, parts. It's just like, they have, like, different phases, don't they? Some monsters.
Yeah, they have different phases, so there'll be, like, an enraged
And then that's when they change their patterns up. I remember that part.
Oh, you have to use another hot miss because you went back to the village.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay, so you're still at HR1, which makes sense. I assume the bird one that you're talking about is Acnosom. It's the one that looks like a crane. And it's kind of got like the umbrella sort of theme going on. I just actually fought that one in Sunbreak recently because I needed the parts for the armor set that I was crafting. So it was pretty fun in Sunbreak. They added some cool new moves to it.
Die, you little Zamite. Goodbye.
That's it.
This one is weak to Smash, which I'm already using a Smash weapon. Oh no, my elemental defense! Whatever shall I do? Oh yeah, you get the cool little ice mantle. That looks so sick.
The ice armor. Oh, dude, the fact that you love Zamtros as much as you do makes me wish that you fought it in 4U or Gen U.
I'm just gonna get this kinship over with, so I can take Nerscylla out because it's low level.
You're one to watch.
Alright, that was neat.
Isn't that one good? I love that one. Because he's like swinging around and then like the stinger
It's
comes.
far from bad. It's not one of my favorites, but it's definitely, it's neat.
And then it puts it to sleep too.
Swinging thing was kind of cool.
Yeah, I like Nerscylla.
I definitely like it. Not gonna be one of my favorites, but it definitely is a good one.
It's a good mid tier, for sure.
Yeah, like a high
Like,
mid tier is an ideal spot for that.
I mean, you haven't seen any of the crazy ones besides Nargacugas, so
Yeah, Nagakugas is still my favorite.
Okay, Frostbang.
I'm gonna be honest, I don't remember Zamtrios's. I don't remember if I liked it or not.
I think you said it was like decent mid tier. I think you were like a little bit confused because, like, as you know, Zamtrios has a ton of different phases, and they basically like combined all the phases into one attack. But I think it's goofy. I like it.
I don't remember much of the, like, I remember some of the kinships. All I remember is Kurapiko's not good. Probably the worst one.
Yeah.
I think there was one worse than that, but I don't remember.
No, there is not one worse than.
Oh, that was the worst one? Okay.
Because it's just they chuck a barrel in the air and it blows up, and like it's not Kurapeko.
Yeah, that's the one I remember hating. There might have been one more that was like meh, but I think every other one was like at least mid-tier. Whenever I see someone mention tutorials, it always reminds me of Xenoblade 3, which tutorials are bad. Xenoblade 3 does have way too many tutorials.
I haven't even started it because I talked to Iron Lord, and like Iron Lord is like my go-to guy for anything Xenoblade related. And I was like, okay, maximum enjoyment. What order do I play these games in? And he was like, play them in numerical order. It's not necessary, but you'll catch on little things, and it'll give you maximum enjoyment.
I can agree. I haven't played Xenoblade 2. I played Xenoblade 1, but I haven't played 2. And I, like, get what's going on in the story, but I can definitely agree. Like, I've been seeing stuff online, like, oh, like, you know, you'll get the max enjoyment with both games. There's definitely, like, the callbacks to the two games.
Yeah. So yeah, I need to finish the first one. And then I'm gonna do 2 before I even touch 3.
That being said, I am, like, 20 hours in Xenoblade 3. It's pretty great so far.
Yeah, I mean, I think everybody's been because I know Chaos was really worried that he wasn't gonna like it, and I haven't heard anything negative from him about that. I've heard tons of negative things about Survive, but not Xenoblade 3.
Survive is sure... That was a storm we had to go through.
Hey, Raptor loves it.
I
He's
know,
still
Raptor, well, I mean, I really shouldn't talk. I haven't played the game. I've watched Chaos's playthrough. I stopped watching midway through. I'm like, yeah, I'm not getting the game, but I don't really have an opinion, so I'm like, you know.
I don't know, I think it's like, I mean, I didn't get that far. I only got to, like, Chapter 2 before I put it down for other games.
I'm really not the one to ask.
I didn't think it was, like, terrible. It's like, I mean, I knew that I wasn't going to like it more than Cyber Sleuth just from the structure of the game.
Oh yeah, there's no way I would like it. There's no way. Like, I like Cyber Sleuth. I love Hacker's Memory. There's no way it would be like above those from what I saw. I doubt it.
I mean, honestly, like, and like Chaos got very aggressive with me when I like said this, but like Digimon has not had a good track record with games. Like they had that brief stint like around the Cyber Sleuth era, which was mostly Cyber Sleuth, but like video games have never been a priority for Digimon. And like Survive just like proves that like it's probably not going to be a thing moving forward either.
I've only played the Cyber Sleuths, and then I played Next Order. Didn't vibe with me, so I didn't continue it. And then, but I don't think that was a bad game. That was just not for me. And then,
Yes,
I think I
that's
played
the same.
like Dawn. I think I played Dawn like a while back, but I never actually finished it. Not because it was bad, just because I never did.
Yeah, no, I have Dusk and Dawn, also World DS, but Raptor and Flygon both like don't play World DS because you're not gonna enjoy it.
I heard that World DS is like basically a like Dawn and Dusk improve on them in every way. Is from what I heard. That's
Yeah,
the consensus.
that's um, but yeah, I mean Dawn and Dusk are good. I think they're a little bit old, and I don't have the same nostalgia that I have with other DS titles. Um, but they're like fine. And then yeah, same thing. Like not just Next Order, but all of the Digimon World games. I'm like, I do not enjoy this format, so I'm not gonna play it.
Yeah, Next Order frustrated me. Like my Digimon kept dying. I was like, dude, it's not fun to grind them back up. That's like that was the main thing about Next Order. That I was like, oh, I hate it.
I don't like pet simulators, so I looked at Next Order. I'm like, okay, so it's a pet simulator, and I don't want to play this. Um, so yeah, I totally understand like your feelings on Next Order. So for me, it's really only, you know, three. I mean, honestly, like 2.5 because Hacker's Memory is a spin-off of Cyber Sleuth.
Yeah.
It's really only like 2.5 good games. So, you know, they just, and I mean, yeah, that's not including like the Japanese exclusive ones like Lost Evolution. I know Wolfen's really excited for that. That fan translation to be finished. But yeah, I mean,
I know that's like an upcoming thing.
yeah, Digimon just from what I
Oh, we're
see
getting a cut.
does not have a
It's
good
so
track
cold.
record.
My whiskers are frozen stiff.
Sorry, it was a sudden cutscene.
Yeah, and there's the delay.
Yeah, and also you can't hear. We can pick up this conversation after.
How come you don't feel the chill?
I have Frostfang, so I'm all right.
I see. He keeps you warm. By the way, Frostfang is a pretty cool name. When did you come up with it?
When I met him for the second time,
What did you call him before then?
Fuzzfangs.
Say what?
He was so cute and fluffy. It was the first thing that came to my mind.
I love you.
And you bonded with Frostfang when you met again.
That's right. It was a very cold day, like today.
Yo, Wildcat, is that like because she's from Stories 1, right? Is that some kind of Stories 1 reference? Fuzzfangs?
No, this whole like segment on her meeting Frostfang is brand new to this game. However, the anime adaptation from the first game had a completely different backstory for it. So there is like a bit of like conflict if you look at the anime.
Oh, lame. That would have been such a neat way to be like continuity stuff, but you know.
Yeah.
I'm freezing. Oh no, there's a monster here. Huh? A Barioth? Why did you... Hold on. Is that you, Fuzzfangs? I'm so happy to see you again. But you're all grown up. Fuzzfangs doesn't suit you anymore. Why don't I call you Frostfang? Frostfang, would you like to come with me? That's when we bonded.
That's so touching. cheered up.
Frosty places always remind me of that day. Anyway, let's keep going.
That was cute. All I know, I really like Davinia, but man, now I like Davinia. He's neat.
Yeah, it's so strange seeing your perspective of Avinia because mine is completely different.
Oh yeah,
to how
she was like younger in Stories 1, isn't she?
Yeah, because Stories 1 is 5 years earlier.
Yeah, I
Um,
can. So how old is she, like, give or take?
She's 10 in the first one. She's 15 in this one.
That's wild to me. Like, I mean, I'm sure if I played Stories 1, I'd be on your perspective, but, like, I don't have that nostalgia, and I've never played Stories 1, so to me, I just see her as the 15-year-old she is now, so.
And also, it's when you first meet Avinia in Stories 1, she's a little bit snooty towards you. So she doesn't make the best first impression in that game.
Okay.
And I think that stuck with me a little bit. Like,
Is she a
good,
tsundere by any chance?
a little bit, yeah.
I know all about those.
So yeah, I think. I mean, honestly, like, yeah, I don't think I'm trying to think out of like all the characters. Yeah, I mean, I mean, the story just kind of serves its purpose. I think even in this game a little bit, it's really very gameplay driven, which
I
is
was
very
definitely
monster.
thinking about it before we started, like, before I was, like, gonna play this game. I was thinking about it. I'm gonna fight these things while I talk. I was thinking about it, like, oh, how do I feel about the story? Because I did, like, I tried to recollect. I didn't, like, watch my playthrough or anything, which I probably should have done. But, I kind of did, like, oh, what's happening in the story? So, like, I kind of caught myself up to speed. I definitely think the story's, like, just, like, it's fine. It's doing its job. I kind of just agree with what you're saying. Like, you're playing this game for getting the monsties, and honestly, for that reason alone, the story is good enough to push through, I feel.
Yeah, and I have a slight preference for the first story just because of like, just things making sense and them like tying up all the loose ends at the end, which I think like you'll see as we finish. But I think there's like a couple of moments where I'm like, they didn't fully flesh this out, and it feels weird to just end it here. So yeah, I think I think that yeah, the story is just kind of there to get you through, and then the post game it takes off the training wheels, and there's no story in the post game. It's just like, oh, you can fight this, you can fight that. Like, this is how you build sets. Have fun.
I definitely like, again, I think the big thing about the story is, like, I know Rise is very much like, oh, mostly like, oh, go kill monsters, get equipment. It's much more like, you know, non-story driven than this. Like, I'm sure this is more story driven, right? But not by much.
Yeah, and like, I mean, base Rise barely has a story, which most Monster Hunters barely have a story.
That's what I figured.
But I would say the notable exceptions are 4 Ultimate. I praise the story in 4 Ultimate. I think that it strikes a really good balance, partially because there's no voice acting or anything, so it's just text boxes that you're reading with like brief little cutscenes. And then Worlds was kind of bad. World had a lot of talking. The cutscenes aren't skippable. Yeah, World wasn't great. There were some memorable characters. That's about it. But I will say with Sunbreak is looking like it's got a good story.
Oh, they're doing like some kind of story expansion with it?
Yeah, like they're having a very good story tie-in that might beat 4U for me. I have to finish Sunbreak, but right now, Sunbreak's story is very promising from a Monster Hunter perspective.
That sounds interesting.
Yeah. Because basically, where I left off last night is I'm gonna be going from Master Rank 2 to Master Rank 3, which means that I'll be fighting Garen Golem, which is one of the 3 lords. The first of the 3 lords. That's my next hunt. But I wanna finish building an armor set first because I'm still using my high rank armor set, and it's getting a little bit squishy, so I need to upgrade to something that's a bit sturdier.
Yeah. I wanna, I'm gonna bring this up because we're like, these are videos now, but, me and, Wildcat chat and YouTube, we were talking about probably, I do want to do, because I played Rise, I mentioned I played Rise on my spare time, I do want to kind of bring Rise to the channel at some point, which I think will be really fun. And,
Yeah.
obviously Wildcat will join me for that, because he's the Monster Hunter expert.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't a bumbling apprentice that much earlier, but yeah, definitely no more compared to you because it's your very first game and we haven't gotten out of low rank yet.
Hey, little Zamites, I've got a Zamtrios. Yeah, Monster Hunter Rise, when we're done with Stories 2, like, again, I want to do the post-game of Stories 2, but we'll kind of see where I'm headed. We'll see how my, how I feel about the ending, and if I'm like, hey, do I want to, like, take a break or keep playing the game, but once that's up and done, Rise is probably next on the list.
Yeah. Which it'll be good for me to get back. I actually, if we do that, there's a hunting horn build that I want to make for high rank. That I saw a video on that seems really interesting. That I want to try out because usually I'm playing solo, so my build is entirely damage focused. But if we do some multiplayer, I can do a bit more of like a support oriented, like healing oriented build. And I've seen a cool one that I want to make and try out.
Oh, this is the game where you have to, it like puts my, because I switched Zamtrios mid-battle and they just had Nargacuga here. And I'm just like, what happened? I thought I had Zamtrios. That's insane. It's because we're talking so much, I'm not even paying attention to the game. I'm kind of just like autopiloting.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Alright, well, let's fix that. I want Zamtrios in the front. I want to see his kinship again because I remember... I don't remember it, honestly. I'm just going to be straight up.
Well, and the other thing, too, is that when we go back to your house and actually go inside your house, there's a gallery where you can watch all of the kinships that you've seen.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Dude, I actually, like, probably at the end of this playthrough, I'll probably make a compilation of all of them.
Yeah, no, we can do a tier list.
That would be nice too. We could just watch them all again and be like rank them on the spot. That'd be interesting.
Yeah.
That's so cool. I'm glad you told me about that.
Yeah, because it wasn't in the first game, and I didn't realize it until I was like maybe like 15 hours into my Stories 2 playthrough, and Raptor's like, "You didn't figure that out?" I'm like, "No, because it wasn't in the first game."
Yeah, I could see that. That's really neat, though.
It was like that, and then it was also upgrading genes. I didn't know that you could upgrade genes, because that was another thing in the first game.
I love the way Zamtrios goes. And mounting is so fun.
It's just like the one thing is that it's pretty slow. So when you're being
very
chased,
much so.
you're probably gonna get caught. No, Zamtrios is a very solid choice. I think the only reason I didn't use him that much in my Stories 2 play, I used him for like this part of the game, but then as soon as I got access to Legiana, I swapped him out because I had never used Legiana before, and I used Zamtrios a ton in Stories 1.
Going for a Vinia, huh? Yeah, go for this. Why not? Double power attack.
But the other thing too is that if we do Rise, then we'll obviously be doing like multiplayer hub quests. Genus will be able to join us too, so that's incentive for Genus to get a little bit farther,
That would be nice.
which will also be really helpful for the final boss of Base Rise, because that fight is terrible unless you're using a ranged weapon, which Genus is using a bow. So
Oh, joy.
we'll have. I hate that fight. It's
That bad?
well, it's just like, I think the reason why I usually like tease people that use the bow or the bow guns is because for the most part the monsters are balanced around melee combat, because that's what all the other weapons are. So the fact that you can just kind of stay at a distance and shoot, it trivializes some of the fights. But I would say for those bosses specifically, a light spoiler, they're constantly floating around. They don't just like land on the ground at all. So they're just really annoying to hit if you're not using a ranged weapon.
Yeah.
So that's part of why I don't like those two. Like I'd rather fight Magnamalo. I'd rather fight like Magnamalo like 5 times in a row than fight one.
Sorry, I have to read this comment. I honestly never finished this game due to not being able to stand Navarro. I'm gonna say this. I don't like Navarro, but I don't think he's enough to make me not want to finish the game.
Also, if you think he's that bad in English, just play it in Japanese, because he's not as annoying in Japanese. He's actually got a really great voice actress in Japanese.
Yeah, because, like, you know, again, we just talked about, like, again, the story's, like, fine, it's doing its purpose, but this game is mostly seeing all the monster designs is why I play this game. The story's end, like, it's nice so far, it's neat, but, like, I'm definitely playing this. I'm just gonna say it, I'm playing this for the monster designs, straight up.
Yeah, I mean, it's different for you, because, like, you're coming from it from, like, the non-mainline perspective, which is interesting, because, like, I came from the perspective of, oh, this is a franchise that I love, and they're doing a very different gameplay.
Yeah, because Monster Hunter, they made this after the, yeah, it does make sense. I could see it being like, oh, it's like a side series of Monster Hunter.
This is a spin-off series.
Yeah, side series.
Yeah, I mean, there's 4 series in Monster Hunter. There's 2 mainline and 2 spin-off. And it's more like 3 now because Frontier has stopped. That's why we got Espinas in Sunbreak. But yeah, I mean, you've got the numbered titles, which is like Monster Hunter World, and then like all of like, you know, Monster Hunter 1, Monster Hunter 2, Monster Hunter 3, Monster Hunter 4. And then you have the portable series, which, you know, isn't the best descriptive term because Monster Hunter 4 was on a 3DS, and so is Generations. But it's usually like Rise is in the portable series. It's what we would consider portable 5th if they kept using the numbers, and Generations is also in the portable series. So those both are mainline. And then you have the true spin-off with stories, in that it's a similar universe with like the same monsters and a lot of those natural laws are applying, but like the people are very different. You know, the events that go on are very different. You know, different combat systems.